What is up? What is up? What is up? Should I take the Rainer Teo intro today? What is up, my friends? Hey, what's up, my friends? How we doing today, guys? How we doing? Akshay says, hold. Big time, baby. Welcome, Cosmo Salas. What are your thoughts on silver? Great squeeze potential. I know that it is a pretty heavily shorted stock. We'll check out silver really quick on Webull. Looks pretty good right now. Great chart setup. It doesn't look bad at all. Retracement wise, pullback held pretty well above 38.2%. I know that it's pretty heavily shorted. That could be a good stock. I am going to pull up Fintel just so we've got that ready by the off chance that we do want to check this out. But we're going to focus today on AMC, GME. Any questions you might have, we're going to pull up some Reddit threads, the whole 9 yards, and just check out all the stuff that you want to look at. Maybe it's Fin 10. Hold on a sec. So let's pull up short interest SLV. Fintel, man, I knew I was right. I doubted myself. I shouldn't doubt myself. Hey, what's up, everybody? Trey, try to get on Brian Jung's live. I checked out Brian Jung on YouTube. He's a pretty big channel. He's a big channel. He's got the fancy check mark. I don't know if I'd ever be able to swing that, but if you guys want me on his live, what you can do is go over to his videos and comment and see if we can make that happen. But I don't know if he's ever going to pay attention to a channel like me, guys. I'm pretty small. But let's check out the silver short interest. As of January 29th, it is 13 million, a total short volume ratio of 12% compared to their total market volume. As far as cover dates go, it does not say that here from my understanding, but they do update this on a daily basis as far as the total short volume compared to total volume. And that is what's going to cause the overall short volume ratio. Pretty high ratio though, 11.82. That's pretty high. Okay, so let's just read off a couple of comments, and then I do want to take some time today to read through some of these Wall Street Bets Reddit threads so that I can give you guys my thoughts, my reaction initially to what is happening here. If you would not mind dropping a like on the video, it does help support the channel a pretty decent amount. If not, that's cool too. I'm just glad to have you here watching. So let's read from Mr. Bro. What happens if the short squeeze happens in after or pre hours? Because I can't sell after a pre-market. Well, fear not, because that's not possible. It should not happen. And I feel confident in saying this because what we know about options, right, is you cannot exercise them in extended hours. So you cannot buy options or sell options during pre or after hours sessions. So we do expect that this is going to play out on AMC starting in the regular market hours. Now, does that mean that we're not going to see a run-up in the initial pre-market open? No. We very likely will. I think it's pretty unlikely that we see, a harsh pullback down to these $11, $10, $9 ranges, because that would mean people are taking profits, anticipating that the squeeze won't happen, but I think it's pretty likely to happen. So I don't think that's a huge issue. I don't think that's a large possibility. What I anticipate happening, and I have this drawn up on the charts already, we are currently in an ascending wedge formation right now. So we've got this support line, which is acting as a bounce off level, right? We've seen two bounces off of this, and an ascending trend line right now, which is being very heavily respected as a level of support. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different touch points here. And if this does end up playing out, what I anticipate is going to happen if it does not break through this support or this resistance level at 1588 is you'll likely see a bounce. It'll be respected as a level of support again. And then at market open, you're pretty likely to see a pretty heavy amount of buying pressure, maybe followed by a small pullback, as all stocks do pull back as we've seen here. But I think you're likely to see this thing run. I feel pretty good about it. Sandallar, good to see you here again, my friend. You're so loyal. I know you're always at all these live streams. Howdy, Trey. Welcome back. Please remember to send a pre-alert out starting in 1 hour 30 minutes so we don't miss your priceless commentary. I did put out I did schedule this about 20 minutes ahead of time. I know that wasn't a lot of time. I had a video that I was recording, and I will be putting this out later, but I was recording a reaction video to one of Dead Inside's videos regarding the AMC GME situation, and it was like a half-hour long video. And I realized that my mic was not plugged in. So I just sat there for a half an hour talking to my screen, which is, it is what it is. What do you do? But I will do that in the future. Thank you again, my friend. We're going to get this question from Ivan Ria. If under $25, do you think we should pump more money in? That's a good question. So I want you to know right off the bat that there is an extreme amount of risk involved with AMC, right? So I'm going to try and break this down as simple as I can. In terms of risk-reward ratio, what risk-reward ratio is let's say that you have $500 that you're putting into a stock, right? We put $500 into AMC. And we think the upside is that we can turn that $500 into a $2,500 profit, meaning we turn that into $3,000. Well, that's a 5-to-1 risk-reward ratio. So honestly, what it comes down to is how much do you think the stock is going to grow? How much are you willing to put into that risk-reward ratio? And are you comfortable with that risk mitigation level? So personally, I think the likelihood of this opening at $25 at actual market open, it might happen. It's possible. I think the majority of the damage that'll be done on this, the amount of growth we see, is going to come in the regular market hours. So you might see a little run up here in the pre-market. I think likely you're going to see this upward trending trend line being bounced off of as a level of support until we open and break through this level of support and resistance at 1588, and then a pretty harsh move after that. But I think that we've got some pretty good upside here. This is going to be a couple-week runner just based on the numbers that we know. In case you have not been able to keep up with the overall price action happening with AMC, I am going to pull up, and this is off of Fintel. We do have this updated as of January 29th, so this is very relevant, very recent information. I'm just going to pull this up really quick so you can see the overall short interest. So as of January 29th, 2021, we have an overall short volume of 147 million shares, which is a short volume ratio of 24% compared to the overall market volume. Now, this is different from the outstanding shares, right? The total shares that exist on the stock. This is how many shares were traded on the previous day, which was 600 million. So that's what we know right now based on the information that was presented to us. And this is what we see as of late. So on January 29th, actually, 147 million. So we know that people are doubling down right now on their convictions. These hedge funds are actually adding to their short positions because the previous day, it was 65 million shares. So this is going up. This is a very, very high amount of short volume. I think this is going to be a multiple week runner. I feel pretty good about it. YOLO. Man, that's the very definition. I see a comment about CTRM. And CTRM is something that I did want to talk about today. I think CTRM is a strong buy. Now, keep in mind the overall risk level involved. I do want you guys to keep that in the back of your mind. But I've got something drawn up for you that I think is very interesting here on the charts. So we've got an upward moving trend line that was being respected as a level of support. We broke down beneath that, and now we have a new trending channel, right? So this exact trend line might not come to fruition. We don't have any touch points yet. This is a guess on what might happen. But if we continue upwards, if we see some upward movement, I anticipate that this previous level of support will be an acting level of resistance, and you might see some bounces leading into the regular market hours in which it does push through that and see some pretty violent price action. We know that the short interest on CTRM is extremely high. If we pull up CTRM on Fintel, it will show us the most recent information regarding CTRM short interest. And let's just search that really quick so that everybody can see in case you are not aware. I did put out a video on this yesterday, which does talk about it in extreme detail if you are interested. We have a total short volume of 66 million shares, or 23% short volume ratio, which is actually just as high as AMC's overall short volume ratio, which is the short volume compared to the market volume on that trading day. And this is growing. People are doubling down on their convictions right now. We've got a total short volume ratio of 22.57. Extremely, extremely high. I think there's a large possibility that you see CTRM have a pretty good squeeze. If it sees green volume, if people do end up buying into the stock, there's a lot less people that are paying attention to CTRM compared to AMC. So this is going to depend on heavy volume. We're looking for a continuation of heavy volume. So something like this day, right? We see a lot of volume here where it's going to cause shorts to have to cover higher. That could cause a squeeze on CTRM. I would love that. I personally like CTRM regardless. I think it's a good company. If you don't know what they do, they engage in ocean transportation with dry bulk cargoes and bulk carrier vessels. They recently acquired a new bulk carrier vessel. This was a little while back. It had some debt financing, $15.3 million, but they did acquire a Capesize bulk carrier vessel back on the 20th of January. I think it's a pretty solid company. I don't mind them. CTRM is the next GME, you idiot. I don't know why you gotta call me an idiot, but I already like CTRM. I think it's a great company. I think the squeeze potential is extremely high, for sure. On Market Beat, it says AMC has a current short volume of 44.67 million shares, but this is the only first position below. What's about the other positions? That's a good question, so I will address that really quick. So if we pull up AMC short interest on Market Beat, let's just check this out really quick. So Market Beat, AMC short interest. What we can see is that, as you said, they have 44.67 million shares. And these days to cover indicate how much time they have to cover those overall positions. So this price on record date, $8.63, shows, okay, that's the price in which they executed this 44.67 million shares sold short, and the overall dollar volume sold short right here. Percentage change, 14.6% from the previous amount of shares sold short. And there's a lot of low prices in here. They're gonna have to cover pretty high. I feel pretty good about where we're at right now. So essentially what we're looking at, if we come back here on the last year of short volume, right? We know that these guys have to cover. 8.4 days, have to cover. Looks promising. I've been trying to pay attention to Fintel. I know there are quite a few people out there that prefer that I use Fintel as it is updated daily. And what we do know based on Fintel is that at least, I think it's actually a higher overall number. If we come back to AMC short interest here on Fintel, come back to this, take a quick peek, click out of these extra browsers, and it is 147 million. So that's actually higher. That's a higher overall short volume. And if we see a lot of volume pump into this and it pumps up, they're going to have to cover very high, and the squeeze should be pretty nasty. Beckins T says, can you explain the whole $9 options expiring in the money thing? Why would that cause a gamma squeeze? So if you're not familiar with what a gamma squeeze is, I'm glad you asked that question. Thank you very much. We'll just read you off a quick description, because this is going to be able to describe it better than I can. Related to the short squeeze is something known as a gamma squeeze. A gamma squeeze takes things one step further, forcing additional stock buying activity due to open options positions on the underlying stock. A gamma squeeze is behind a large part of the recent meteoric rise in the share price of GameStop. So essentially, if we have open positions in options, right? Open options positions on an underlying stock, such as GameStop, such as AMC, right? Market makers have to come up with shares, right? They can't make something come out of nothing, unless you're GameStop, for instance, and people can short 250% of the total outstanding shares. But essentially what this does is it increases the overall demand, it decreases the overall float, which then increases the overall volatility going into the stock. Oh, reposted. I wasn't calling you an idiot. It was to the Bears in the chat. I love you. Thank you, my friend. It's all good. I didn't take it to heart. I'm a pretty easygoing guy, but that's what the gamma squeeze is referring to. So gamma squeeze takes things a step further, because essentially it forces there's less availability to these stocks. So with AMC, for example, if this gamma squeeze, which I do anticipate happening, market makers are going to be struggling a little bit to get some orders filled. It should be a nasty squeeze. And that's specifically talking about Monday. And the fact that we closed above $9 is significant, because if we look here on Market Watch, and this is what I actually like Market Watch or Market Beat for a lot, is we know that the price on record date was $8.63. So to close above $9 means that these guys have to cover in the money. They're out. They're getting crapped on right now. It's ugly. So to close above $9 means that we have high likely expectations for them to squeeze this stock to some new overall highs. And I hope that answers your question to the best of my ability. Ayodel Adum, thank you for the $20 donation, my friend. Let's go. Ooh, I love to see it. Let's check out Sundial. 100% with you, my friend. Sundial has opportunity also for a squeeze, and it's not maybe not as much as previous, but Sundial actually has some interesting things that we can talk about here. So we are currently in an ascending wedge formation. We do have 1, 2, 3 different touch points here. So this is a respected level of support on an upward channel, right? So this is a respected upward channel. And on the flip side, we have a respected level of resistance on a downward channel. 1, 2, 3 different touch points here. We always look for 3 touch points on both trend lines. And when that is respected and you come to this meet in the middle area, right, we're compressing and tightening on price action, it has to give one way. It either has to break through this resistance or break below this level of support on that trend line. And if we break through this top level of resistance, it should be violent. That typically follows through with some pretty heavy volume. And we do know that Sundial is a pretty heavily shorted stock. So if you pull up Sundial quick on Fintel, let's look at the last known day of short interest on Sundial. We check this out really quick. Overall short interest on Sundial. Click on this, and we know, based on January 29th, that they have an overall short volume of 255 million shares, which is a short volume ratio of 25% compared to the 1 billion shares in trading volume that it saw on the previous day. Now, if we look at how this compares to previous times, pretty decently high. I mean, we saw 502 million right here in short volume, so not as much. Some people probably covered, which is why we saw this absolutely filthy looking run up right here. But I think that there's a lot more room to run, because you can't short in the pre-market or the after hours, right? But if there's options, and I don't know if there's any options on Sundial. Let's take a peek. There are options on Sundial. So if there's options, these can't be exercised in the pre-market or after hours. So they're going to have to cover, and that could be pretty filthy. Tyler Hagenbuck, thank you for the $5, my friend. What is your thoughts on buying call options for AMC when market opens tomorrow? Great question. So options are a great tool to leverage overall action and returns on a stock. So what we see right now is what we have available for current call options, right? So we've got a change right here in percentage. We've got the last, we've got the ask, we've got the bid, we've got the open interest, delta, gamma. I don't keep up with this stuff very much, but what we do know is right here. We've got the expiration date of February 21, goes out pretty far. If you're looking for a quick flip, I'd recommend getting maybe like the 12th February calls, and we can see some different options here. So typically when you're looking at an option, you want to look at what has the most open interest, because typically people don't put their money somewhere where they don't think it's going to pan out, right? So we've got a lot of open interest right here at 714 open interest, right? And that's an increase of 150%. That's pretty significant levels to watch for. And we've got the last, the ask, and the bid, which is at $6 at a $15 strike. So that's basically people saying, hey, I think this is going to hit $15. And, it is a pretty high overall bid on the stock compared to what you'd usually see, but it's high demand. And the higher up you go, right? So here we've got a $16 call, is a little bit cheaper. And I think you can probably go higher than this, honestly, but this is what's available to me right now on Webull. So I don't think it's a bad deal. I don't think so at all. I think it's very, very likely that we see a push over $16. And then keep in mind, all the extra money that it goes above that $16, you can capitalize on it. You can really lock in some nasty, nasty, filthy returns. So I don't think it's a bad idea at all. I would say go for it. I don't typically play around with options, not because I don't like them. They're a great tool for leverage, but I just prefer to hold real stock, and that's just my personal opinion. But Tyler, thank you for the donation. I do think it is some pretty solid opportunity. Eric says, what is my average price? So I am in the process of transferring over my Fidelity account to Webull. And in Webull, my average price is much lower than my Fidelity, but I am in AMC right now with 142 shares, $1,900 in market value, and an average price of $874. So that's what my Webull looks like. If we were to pull up my Fidelity, I don't currently use it right now just because of that whole situation that happened. If you guys have been keeping track of the channel, there were a lot of brokerage accounts that closed people's accounts because of SEC suspicious activity or market manipulation activity, and my account got hit pretty hard. So I bought back in, and they call it a wash sale. So in order for me to break even on AMC, it has to hit like $25 or something. So that's what they have as my average price. Tyler, thank you again for the $5 donation. I do appreciate that. You did not have to do that. That means a lot to me. When the hedge funds cover their position, is it possible that they sell new shorts at the same time to keep the price low? It is possible, but it's not recommended. I think that's a very stupid idea for them to do. And actually, I want to show you guys something that I saw on Reddit that I think is very interesting. You guys are actually you're gonna find this pretty interesting. They're freaking out, guys. These hedge funds are freaking out. I don't know why this is lagging right now. I'll come back over to Webull and then see if I can just refresh this page. If not, I will just pull it back up. So we'll just do that right now. Let me pull up a new browser in Internet Explorer, new window, and we're gonna pull up Wall Street Bets Reddit. And I want to show you guys something. I was kind of streaming through this stuff while I was waiting for the stream to start, and it's pretty interesting. So I don't know why my internet's being all goofy right now. It's not pulling up my window. What I'm going to do is, I can't close them all. Well, essentially what this is saying, I'll just tell you about the article while I wait for this to pull up. But there are big hedge funds that are closing out of their positions in their actual long-term plays, such as like Google, Facebook, Amazon. They're selling out of these positions in order to get back into AMC and GME and either sell more short positions or go long to make up for their losses in the stock. So I think that you're more likely to see them go long, as goofy as that sounds, because I think they've maybe finally realized that trading against the grain makes no sense whatsoever. I don't know why you would ever decide to go short on GameStop or AMC right now. That just sounds like a death wish. But that's the current situation right now. So I think it's unlikely. I mean, if it does happen, it's just going to add to the squeeze. It's just going to add to the squeeze. Sean, thank you for the $5 donation. What is your prediction price for AMC next Friday? Now, it is difficult overall to take a stab at what the actual price is going to be on a stock. And it looks like my brokerage account is frozen right now. So I don't know what's going on here. Okay. This is pretty goofy. I think my internet's freaking out right now at at the amount of volume coming in on this live stream. One sec here. I might have to restart my Webull. So let me just close out of Webull and then reopen this up. That should help the overall situation here. Come on. Shoot, what's going on? Guys, my computer's freaking out right now. It is not a very happy guy. I don't know if you guys are seeing this, but my computer is freaking out. And I've got a nice computer, so this is kind of confusing. Oh, man. I can't even see what you guys are commenting. What the heck is happening right now? Come on. Guys, you'll have to excuse this this jet lag. My computer is not cooperating whatsoever right now. We'll pull up Webull here and see if this does the trick. Come on. Oh my gosh. Well, this is awkward. Oh, gosh, dang it. I apologize right now. I cannot read anything you guys are saying on the chat. My computer is absolutely lagging. It is so frozen right now. I don't know if you guys are seeing this, but I'm trying to click on stuff, and it is not working at all. Man. What is going on? Maybe it's finally loading. Looks like we might be loading, guys. Or maybe not. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start a second live stream here. I'm going to restart my computer. You guys will have to come back. I know this is frustrating. It's frustrating to me too. But I will be back. I promise you. My apologies. My computer is not working right now. Okay, guys. We are back. I so sincerely apologize for that huge malfunction with my computer. I don't know what the heck just happened. But my streaming service went absolutely nuts. I think it's because of Mike. Mike crashed the entire computer. Mike crashed everything. What are you doing, Mike? you put a lot of people in a goofy situation. All right, we are back though. I do sincerely apologize. So Sean, my prediction for AMC next weekend. I will now answer your question. So if we pull up AMC here on the charts, we're going to get back to our regularly scheduled programming here and look at this on the 1 month. So on the 1 month, we're going to change this to a 30-minute frequency. What I anticipate happening, and I'm going to add here the extra hours as well. So let me just go to settings, and I should, no, maybe it's not here. Where was it on Webull again? Chart settings, there we go. Show extended hours. So if we look at the extended hours, my anticipation by Friday is that this is going to be a multiple week squeeze. And that is because, all right, Mike, you got to go. What are you doing? What are you doing? We are going to put you in timeout. No good. You got to go in timeout, my friend. So what we know about AMC is that we're expecting a multiple day short interest close. So if we change this over to AMC short interest, I'll pull this back up here and show you what we're looking at. So let's go over to market beat. And as I stated earlier, we expect that this is going to last for quite a while. We've got multiple days to cover here, ranging between a day to 8 days. So that's 2 weeks of trading. I would not be surprised in the least bit to see this touch anywhere between $50 to $100. And if you think that's out of the question, I want you guys to realize that Volkswagen squeezed thousands of percent. And I want to actually show you an interesting article. I'm going to pull up the Wall Street Bets thread again on Reddit. And I want to show you guys something. So there's a couple of really good things in here that I'm actually going to go through with you guys and read off as the stream progresses. But one thing that I thought was very interesting, it was a due diligence tab. So let me find this really quick. And that is right here. So get this. I remember reading this. So the reason GameStop hasn't dropped in price despite the hedge fund's best efforts is because the majority of the shares have been bought by retail investors. The stock is at around $300 right now. The short squeeze hasn't even happened yet. It's realistic the stock could go to $5,000 plus per share. If the GME short squeeze in proportion reached the same comparable levels as the Volkswagen Porsche squeeze, GME could reach $30,000 per share. And AMC is very closely mirroring what's happening with GME right now. It's not the same situation, but it's very similar. So I think it's pretty likely that you see this break $100. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I sincerely think it's possible that we see this stock break $100. It'd be absolutely insane. I don't know if that'll happen by Friday. I think that's going to be a 2-week process, but I think it's very likely that we see that happening. Sebastian, thank you so much for the $2. Thank you for doing this live Q&A. I genuinely enjoy it. It's a lot of fun for me, and I will always continue to do so. If AMC goes to $700, Ken says, I retire. If AMC goes to $700, man. If AMC goes to $700, I'm going to wish that I still had my $20,000 in this. That's for sure. Aaron. Carlos, another clown. He probably tried to short GME when it was 50, burned his account. Oh, man. I mean, I think it's pretty likely to keep running, for sure. I actually want to read off a couple of Reddit threads for you guys. So I apologize if I miss anything in the comment section, but this is something that I wanted to cover. I wanted to read through some of this and give you my thought process on some of this stuff. So let's start off with a couple of these things. One thing that I really enjoy that I'm seeing on the Reddit threads right now is this is so much more than a meme stock, a meme movement, right? So what's happening right now is not only are we sticking it to these hedge funds, right? Where people are like, hey, you know what? The 1% has been taking money from these people for who knows how long, right? But what's happening is people are actually taking the gains that they're going to have from these stocks and do good things with it. So look at this. Paying for heart surgeries of 2 children from around the world as my way of giving back from GME gains. This has honestly built such a crazy community. And I can think of my Discord alone, the Patreon. And there are guys in there that have actually built like real friendships and relationships because of what's happening right now. People are coming together. It's a unifying thing. It's nuts. I would first like to say that I truly love each and every one of you. I'm not going to say that. We've not only changed the game for the little guys, but we've improved the lives of many individuals, including myself. I invested in GME when it was $9 because you guys told me to do so back late last year. So I took all my planner gains and dropped it into GME stock and diamond-handed this thing. Needless to say, it's the best decision I ever made. I made more money than I ever thought I could make. It still doesn't feel real knowing that when GME goes to $10,000 a share, I will have an 8-figure net worth. Tens of millions of dollars. Absolutely insane. And he's planning on giving back, which is absolutely cool. I love seeing the community that's happening and building right now with this GME AMC thing. And while this is, a YOLO trade, right? It goes against all logic when you look at technical analysis, fundamental analysis. I mean, GameStop is just not a good company. I mean, if we look at I'm just going to show you it on Webull because it's a little bit easier. But if we look at GameStop and their financials, red. Let's look at their annual. 2020, negative. 2019, negative. 2018, they saw some profit, but overall, this company has not been doing well. So it makes sense for it to be shorted. I mean, hypothetically, but that's not the reasoning behind it. It's the process and it's the idea. It's the idea that these guys market manipulate and take advantage of the little guy, and now people are sticking it back to him, and we're seeing what's happening right now. It's absolutely insane. Eric, thank you so much for the $5 donation, my friend. That means so much to me. You don't have to do it, but it is so highly appreciated. Raj Airy, for the last month, you've changed my life both financially and entertainment-wise. I appreciate your updates and everything you do. I appreciate that, my friend. I seriously, honest to God, enjoy doing this, and it is a lot of fun to get on here and talk about this with all of you. All right. Mike Burrow, do you own any Lordstown Motors shares? I do not currently own Lordstown Motor. My position in Fidelity got compromised pretty heavily based on some things that are happening right now with the market climate. And essentially, what happened is a lot of brokerage accounts such as Fidelity and Robinhood, 212, Ameritrade, people are having their positions closed because of SEC market manipulation or unusual trading activity guidelines. And my account got schwacked hard. I don't have my Fidelity pulled up right now, but I had $46,000, and you can verify this by clicking on any of my videos. I had $46,000 in my account, and a lot of it was very heavily weighted in AMC, BB, and Nokia. And all of my positions in those stocks got closed down at their very lowest point. So with AMC, for example, I can show you the exact moment on the chart in which they closed my account down here, right when it touched $7. BB, they closed my account down here when it hit $13. They closed my position in Nokia down here when it hit $4.60. I got schwacked. And like, I get it, whatever. Like, it ended up staying back down at 460 in the end. But I actually believe in Nokia as a company. I think they're going to go back up. And for me to absolutely just lose that, it doesn't make sense. It is what it is. It is what it is. What do you do? But I'm not going to sit here and complain about it. That's not what the reason for this live stream is. So let's come back to your guys' questions. I want GME at $80 shorted. You do you, man. I think anybody that shorts GameStop right now has a death wish. I think that's so. I would never, ever in a million years, I would never short a stock. But I'll tell you the last stock that I would short right now, and that's GameStop. Oh, big time. 11:24 is when they auto sold everyone at Trace Trades. Oh, yeah, that's the exact time that it happened to me. That's the exact time. I literally finished a live stream here, and my positions closed literally right in front of my eyes. In front of, like, I watched it happen. It was insane. I couldn't believe it. I was watching and I was doing this. I was like, oh. I think I had a 10-minute mental breakdown. It was brutal. It was tough. All right. Love hanging out with you, Trey. I appreciate everything you do and the hard work you put into the due diligence you do. I'm taking classes on stocks, but I'm learning a lot from you. Huge thanks. Anytime, Cody. It's really a lot easier than people make it out to be. I don't think reading charts is hard. It took me about a month to figure it out and then some trial and error in the markets, but I promise you, you can learn this and you can do very well. CTRM is safer, coming from Tom. I 100% agree. CTRM is a safe play, and it's a good company. I mean, not to say that AMC isn't a good company. They were $600 million in debt. They did go through that financing. If we look at the news, see if it pulls up here. Stock price, do retail traders, yada, yada, yada. So it's not here on the news tab on Webull, but they did end up creating more shares to cover that $600 million in debt. And I think AMC is going to be better off in the long term, but CTRM is definitely a safer stock. I agree. Slobber, thank you for the $1, my friend. I appreciate the donation. Joe Sang, thank you as well for the donation. Had to catch you once this weekend, but it's bedtime. Hopefully I'll catch you tomorrow when market opens. You sure will, man. I do this every single day. I do work a full-time job, so I make sure I get up bright and early every single day. I wake up at 3 a.m. CST so that I can get onto the YouTube videos. I will probably continue my live streams. Of course, that is extremely early for some of you, but the videos will be posted as well for anybody who is looking to watch them afterwards. All right, Raj, sorry if it's been said already. What strike price for AMC tomorrow, Monday? So if we look at AMC Monday, we are expecting a gamma squeeze to happen. And I did explain this previously, but by the off chance that you were not able to catch it, I will explain to you what a gamma squeeze is. And this little snippet off the internet will do it better than I can. A gamma squeeze takes things one step further from a regular short squeeze, forcing additional stock buying activity due to open options positions on the underlying stock. A gamma squeeze is behind a large part of the recent meteoric rise in the sharp price of GameStop. So this is what happened with GameStop. GameStop saw a gamma squeeze. And this is basically a low float, high demand, and market makers struggle to get shares filled. And you see a huge run up because of these open underlying options on stocks. So I expect the same thing to happen with AMC. Maybe not to $500, right? But I do anticipate that you are going to see some pretty violent movement, and I think you are likely to see Monday at least a retest of $25, likely 30, 35, 40. That's my prediction. Don't hold me to it. That's my prediction. There's absolutely no way that anybody can predict what the price is going to hit, right? Nobody could predict that GameStop would have gone from $10 to $500 in 4 days, right? So just keep that in the back of your mind. Eric, thank you again for the donation, my friend. Can you go over the potential short squeeze on BB? It seems AMC, BB, and GME all mimic each other based on technical analysis overlay. Short interest low, so that's worrisome. Yeah, no problem, my friend. So the reason that they're mirroring each other is because all of these stocks are being manipulated by market makers and the hedge funds that are shorting these companies, right? And B, these are all on the Wall Street Bets Reddit threads. So whatever those guys talk about on the Wall Street Bets threads is going to affect what happens with the stock price on all these stocks. So BB, Nokia, AMC, GME, even Sundial, CTRM, all these stocks have been posted on these threads, which have hundreds of thousands of people watching them. And with that many people watching, you're going to see a very similar amount of price action. BB, the charts, as well as Nokia, they don't look great, right? We saw some pretty harsh sell-off, and BB and Nokia's charts look honestly very, very similar. But there is hope, right? So as in terms of squeeze, if we come over to the website here, we pull up BB stock short interest on Fintel, and we'll just check this out really quick. I don't anticipate it being very high. 93 million shares, short volume ratio of 16%. So that's not bad. I mean, that's really not that bad. The interest is there. And if we check out the last known price on these short interest stocks. So let's pull this up really quick. You can easily find this. You just got to go over to Market Beat, and we pull this up, and it gives us the exact price as of January 15th in which these were sold at, which is $14.65. Well, right now we're trading at $14.04. So the likelihood that some of them covered is possible. I'm not going to lie to you. It's very possible that some of them may have covered. But in terms of potential of the company, I actually like Blackberry a lot, as well as Nokia. So my opinion is if you are willing to hold a loss for a little while, whenever you have extra dry powder, extra cash flow in your account, it's worth it to me to average down, because I actually believe in BB as a company. I think they're going to be a big game changer, and I can see them, if they really capitalize on their AI and their technology side of things that they're moving forward with, coming back into those mid 50s, the 60s, even a year or two down the road, being a triple-digit stock company. That's my opinion, my friend. I hope that helps. Stormorific. That's a cool name. I like that. Trey, my message and due diligence is on your last vid on HCMC. A play is being suppressed by YouTube and on Reddit. Please expose and check out with us right now. This is big. On your last video on HCMC. Well, I'll pull it up really quick, my friend. Thank you for the donation, by the way. I do appreciate that a lot. And let me just check this out. So this is coming from Stormorific. That name makes me laugh, my friend. I like that a lot. So we're going to pull this up and just pause the video so you guys don't have to listen at all. And we're going to find out what this is and what you're talking about. So we'll scroll down some of these comments, see if I can find what you're saying. You have to check this out. You cannot buy any silver on AppMex today except for collector coins. Go to their site to read their notice on the top homepage. They say due to unprecedented demand, they are unable to sell any silver. What the heck is going on, man? And I'm afraid there will be a silver squeeze. Are they afraid there will be a silver squeeze? Could you please talk about this in a video? Would love to know your thoughts. Thanks. I'm guessing that this is you. If it's not you, I apologize, but this is what we're going to cover here really quick. And essentially, you're spot on the money. People are scared. They're scared crapless. There's a lot of different brokerage accounts, big institutionals, these huge media sources trying to scare people out of their money. And something that comes to mind for me right off the bat here. Let's come over to Wall Street Bets. And I think I saw this as an article that absolutely blew my mind. There was an overall short interest article that I saw. Maybe this was on Twitter. But regardless, I've seen Twitter news sources and ads popping up on Wall Street Bets of big media sources that are saying, hey, GameStop has these squeezes. Check out 10 other companies that have these same squeezes. And what they're trying to do is divide people. They're trying to move the money somewhere else so that these guys can get out, so they can cover their butts. So this is talking about silver right here. Citadel is the 5th largest owner of silver. It's imperative we do not squeeze it. These are hedge funds, bots, spamming awards. So Citadel does appear to have a long position in silver. Take that for what it is. I'm just presenting the information to you as I see it. But I wouldn't be surprised in the least bit if what you're saying is true, and they are hiding this, right? Because we know this to be the case with Robinhood. Some different brokerage accounts restricted trading, either completely disallowing it or how many shares you can buy. They're trying their best to cover. That's exactly what it is. You're right, my friend. Slobber Sloth, thank you for the $5, my friend. I do appreciate that. Let's say someone has $500 to drop into AMC for Monday. How would you approach buying for the day? So let's take a quick peek here on AMC. So we'll pull this back up instead of BB. And this is how I anticipate the price action happening. Now, keep in mind, right, technical analysis is 100% trumped by any sort of news catalyst, media coverage, or Wall Street Bets threads, because that is going to think about this. If a technical setup is good, but all of a sudden a hit piece comes out, the hit piece always wins. And that's the case here with AMC. So if there's a huge piece or a huge article that comes out, Wall Street Bets puts something out, that's going to trump the charts here. But what the charts say currently is something along the lines of this. You're likely to see a bounce, I'm guessing, off of this level of support. We do have 1, 2, 3 different contact points, validated and respected level of resistance. A bounce off of that, followed by a bounce off of support, and then a push through. That is my prediction. So if you're looking for a good entry point, I think if you see this slipping under that support line, that is not going to last. That is going to be a candle wick that drops below something like this. And if you're able to capitalize on that, you are going to absolutely crush this stock. So if you can get into this, honestly, I think $13, you're still going to make money. But if you really, really want to mitigate your risk, we do know that there's a support level. If I just draw up a quick line for everybody, down here at about $8.72. I don't think it's extremely likely we see this happen, but there could be a situation like this, where we see a candle wick touch down here for just a bit, maybe a minute at most, and you can buy shares there, right? Otherwise, I think an entry point down here at $12 is equally as solid. I don't think you're going to go wrong getting in at that price point. I hope that helps answer your question. Pierre, Doge. Man, Doge, I get asked this all the time. Doge it's an interesting stock. It scares the crap out of me. I don't want anything to do with it personally, but I will give you my best technical analysis that I possibly can, regardless of my opinion. So if we look really quick at Doge on the, and I always call it Doge, but I know it's Doge. If we take a quick peek at this on the charts, we're seeing that it's starting to pick up a little bit in volume here. So it did shoot up really high, up to about, it appears, let's take a quick peek, all the way up to almost 8 cents. And then it came all the way back down to a price of 2.3 cents. And right now trading at 4.1. Well, there's going to be some significant levels to watch for here. We've got a pretty ugly downward channel that we did break out of, right? A bottom out or a top out, top out, top out. It breaks, and now we have some consolidation getting ready for the next leg up. And what's going to be a significant level to watch for? Well, if we just draw up really quick an overall, where is this? Horizontal line. So a level of support. We see that we've got a level of resistance right here, which it is hovering just beneath, and it may have broke through that. I'm going to call that right here. So it did break through that. And then the second one that we're looking at is likely going to be right around here. We've got 1, 2, 3 different contact points, both being acted as a level of support and resistance. 4, 5, 6. So once we break through 4.77 cents, I'd feel more comfortable saying that the continuation will happen. But getting in right now feels very highly like a chase, right? So I know that this is still currently being actively traded, but tread very cautiously. This stock is unpredictable. There's not a lot of news catalysts that we can predict on where this is going to go. Watch for that push over 4.77. If you're looking for a pullback opportunity, I'll drop a quick Fibonacci retracement, not a time zone, retracement. And this may give us an idea of what we could see for a safer entry point. And I like the best entry point around 3.7 cents or 3.5 cents. I hope that answers your question, my friend. Welcome back, Trey. Thank you, Sundial. I had some malfunctions. I don't know what the heck was going on with my computer. That was wild. It absolutely crashed. It must have been that guy that was spamming in the chat. That's the only thing that makes sense. Stormy the Stormerific. It's the latest new commentary on PHUN. Oh, okay. I'll come back to that real quick. Thank you again for the donation, my friend. I appreciate that so much. So if we sort this by newest comments. All right. Now we got it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Please take this one serious, Trey. Love you. This is for the current stream. We need to focus on GME and AMC, but there is a blatant hiding of FUN. It's starting to run. 526 million naked shorts on a stock with a float of only 39 million. Woo! Trading at $2 a share. This smells like GME, but much, much better position to skyrocket. Trying to see who is behind the move. It looks and smells a lot like GME, but lower entry point, way higher short percentage with only 39 million float. It's silly how prime this one is to pop. All technical and in-depth analysis videos on YouTube about this ticker have been taken down with 6 hours of upload by YouTube themselves, not copywriter strikes. Whoa! Oh my gosh. That's crazy. They don't want this one to reach because this has scary cost and GME vibes. It's floating around Reddit and Twitter, but this could make people rich in my opinion. Let's do a quick analysis as a group. Oh my gosh, man. That's insane. Well, let's look at the chart setup really quick. You've got my interest for sure. Oh man. That's nasty. Dude, stormerific. That's disgusting. Jesus. Man, if this ends up panning out, that could be pretty nasty. Well, let's look at the overall short interest. I take your word for it. I trust you. But I am going to search it just so we can get the most up-to-date information. So short interest on Foon. That is pretty filthy, man. I'm glad you brought that to my attention. 9 million in short volume. Overall market volume of 70.6 million. Short volume ratio of 14%. And if we come back here to what you said, it looks like 526 million naked shorts on a stock. So that doesn't quite add up. It's possible. I mean, if what you're saying, they're taking down YouTube videos talking about this stock, that wouldn't be surprising if it's something crazy. The overall market volume is 70 million, but if the float is really small, that could be disgusting. That could be really, really crazy. It's been extremely high in the past. Man, it looks like it's got some squeeze opportunities for sure, but it's already run a lot. Oh, but I guess GameStop did the same thing, so you don't know. You just don't know. We do know that we've got a big fat, we got a double top here, but it did pan out. A little bit of inverse head and shoulders, actually. So this is pretty bullish. I don't mind that. We've got a shoulder, a head, neckline. Ran up, retraced very nicely to 23.6%. Volume is up. Looks good. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I'm going to pull up the RSI indicator really quick and just get a peek at that. Overbought, corrections-wise, not too harsh. Came down to 35. Yeah, man. Oh, man. I think a safe entry point here. I don't know if it's going to pull back that much, but 259. And if YouTube is pulling this down, trying to avoid the same run-up like we've seen with GME and AMC, I wouldn't doubt it. Honestly, I might test your theory. I might make a video on this and talk about it and see what happens once I get done with this live stream. We're going to see how that works out. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Is Biol shorted? White price action is expected. So Biol is a good play. Thank you for the donation, Kids Kudo. I appreciate that so much. Biol is, not from my understanding, a very heavily shorted stock. We can take a quick peek at this just to get an idea. So Biol short interest. Pull this up. I don't anticipate it being very high. Whoa! Maybe I was wrong. 5 million shares, 27% total short volume ratio as of January 29th. Little lower than we've seen it in the past, which may be why we saw a pretty nice run right here up to $1.59. There might have been some shorts covering that caused that small squeeze on the stock. Up, pretty unusual trading volume. It was higher than usual. Foon was $300. Dang, I didn't know that. That's crazy. But Bio is still a good play. They're BioLace first off, and they focus on laser dentistry. So doing oral surgeries using lasers and water lace systems. It's very unique, and if they can really commercialize and patent their systems, there's a lot of revenue and I'd say nicheness to that market, because I don't think there's really any other company doing what BioLace is doing. So that demand is always going to be there, and I can see that being a pretty solid play. I like it a lot. I'm going to be reestablishing into Bio once everything crazy settles down a little bit. I don't currently have a position, but I will get back into this into the future. Thank you, Josh Lyon, for the donation. What are my thoughts on ARB? They're a crypto miner. My opinion with crypto miners, I'm guessing it's this one. Maybe not. ARB. Maybe it's this top one. Arbitrage or the blockchain. ARBKF. I'm going to guess it's this one since it says blockchain. But the problem with companies like this is it very heavily depends and relies on the price action of crypto. So like Bitcoin, Doge, all these different ETH. When those do well, you're going to see these companies do well. Like Mara, right? Mara absolutely crushed when crypto coin was doing extremely well. But when it's not doing well, it's going to pull back pretty harshly. I think it's kind of unpredictable. I'm not going to tell you not to get into it, but it's not an investment that I would personally make. Currently in a downward channel. If we just drop a quick trend line here, it does appear that we are setting newer lows, and if it continues on this, that'll be pretty rough. But from what I'm seeing right now, we do have a respected upward channel as well. We've got 1 touch point, 2 touch points, and if we bring this back just a hair, yeah, it's not very strong. But this does kind of exist. It is in an upward moving channel. macroscopically speaking, so it could continue to run. Watch for a break above this top channel and ride the momentum if you'd like, but just be cautious. RSI currently trading at 53, pretty neutral. So buying in now isn't super risky, but you could get this at a better price. And then Slobber Sloth. Thank you so much for the $2. Thank you so much. Buy and hold AMC, everyone. That's my game plan. Big, big, big time. We'll read a couple more comments, and then I want to read through some Reddit threads with you guys and show you a couple things that I found pretty interesting. BB one day to cover at 1465 according to MarketBeat. It closed at 1410. Does that mean they have covered already? It's possible that they did, but it's hard to say for sure because regardless, when they cover, they're still buying back the shares. So it should shoot the stock price up. And unless this was them shooting the stock price up, I highly doubt it. Maybe some of them did, but it's very tough to say. The short squeeze on BB does not look as good as Nokia. I'll say that right now. I think there's better opportunity, or not. I shouldn't say Nokia. AMC and BB or GME. So BB and Nokia, yeah, I think they're good companies in the mid to long term, and their squeeze opportunities have been kind of trumped a little bit by the bleed. All right. Everyone should have AMC already. Yeah, right. Just buy one share. If everybody buys one share, we're good to go. That's all I ask. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I say that in every single video. If you would not mind dropping a like as well, do it because we like this stock. If not for me, do it because we like this stock. All right. Tay T, quick question for the stock. HCMC. Webull doesn't support the trade. What do you recommend on how to jump on that stock? Please help. Like, what platform do you recommend? HCMC does pull up on Webull for me, but I guess I haven't tried to pull it up on a trade. So let me minimize this really quick and see if it pulls up here. Unlock trading. Yeah, not available. Shoot. So I think Fidelity, you'd probably have some pretty good luck. I know Fidelity lets you trade the OTC. So that would be my first place to go. But also keep in mind that Fidelity kind of did some goofy stuff to me. So if you're skeptical on them handling your money, I'd be very careful. There are 100,000 calls for AMC between 20 to 40 this Friday. Oh, let's check this out. AMC, we're going to change this back to maximized chart and look at the options. 20 to 40. Man. It doesn't even go up that far for me on here. I'd probably have to... All right, let's check out 20. The overall interest. I want to see that. 3,000 on 20. Let's put it up to 50. Let's see what that... Or actually, we'll do all. We'll hit all. Oh, man. Overall open interest. Pretty high amount. 2,785 for $40. Oh, Jesus. That's so high. That's insane. I mean, why not, you know? If that works out, you're going to make a stupid amount of money. You were confusing options with shorting. Oh, am I looking... Calls and puts. Yeah, my bad. I apologize. All right, 1, does economics help with investing? And 2, why invest in individual stocks instead of an index fund? So economics does overall help with investing. And one thing that so here's what you need to keep in mind. Right now, the market is trading a lot different than we're used to. So overall economics, how the economy is doing, does change things overall, right? But right now, the market is not behaving in a way that is predictable, and it's not paying attention to the overall economics and the market climate. It's paying attention to all these meme stocks and what's going on in that sense. So in a normal market, I would say yes. We have been in a very bullish market. So if we were to look at the NASDAQ, for instance, I'll just pull up my my watch list, and we'll check out the Dow. Or actually, we'll just pull up the NASDAQ. So we'll come over here to stocks and pull up the NASDAQ, which is IXIC. And I'll show you this on a pretty macroscopic perspective. IXIC. Apparently it's not pulling up. So we'll just come over here to watch list, IXIC. Gosh dang, piece of junk. Recently viewed, watch list, IXIC. All right, there we go. So we're going to maximize this quick and show you the last couple of years. So if you look at this on a 5-year chart, right? We've been in a bullish market. We had this pullback here in March, which happened because of the COVID situation. And that is an example of economics influencing stock price, right? So COVID happened. A lot of people lost their jobs. The amount of unemployment went up. The amount of restaurants and industries that are allowing work went down. And it was a harsh pullback. But right now, we're seeing a really bullish run. Things are starting to reopen up again. We're starting to see jobs reestablish. Unemployment is slightly going down. And that's an example of how economics can influence the overall stock price. Okay, he doesn't care. The shorts never had to cover, and the $9 thing is BS. Man, I don't know what you want me to tell you. The numbers say what the numbers say, man. If we pull up AMC here, short interest, I can show you the numbers, and I can pull it up here on Market Beat and show you the last price, and it is exactly what it is. If we look at the short interest, it says right here, $8.63 price on record date when we had 44.67 million shares sold short. And the overall short interest on AMC went up. It's higher than it used to be. So if we look here, overall short interest as of January 29th is 147 million shares. That's higher than it was before. That's a valid number. All right, Neo, I messaged you last night about it in Patreon, and you said it could be big. Can you go over it, please? So we'll check out Neo. So what happened is, this is from the Discord. We had a guy message me about Neo, and he brought up to my attention that Neo does have an overall pretty decently high short interest. And for whatever reason, my charts are being really goofy right now. All right, there we go. So we've got Neo pulled up. And let's just pull it up on Fintel and look at the overall short interest. So if we look at Neo, short interest, just check this out. We have an overall short volume of 14 million shares, 19% short volume ratio compared to the total market volume. So pretty decently high. That's 20%. And if we come back here to the charts and look at this, it hasn't really squeezed that much yet, right? So it has been a little bit bearish. We know that Neo Day was on January 9th, which on the charts here would have been right about here. So we saw a nice run up and then some sell off, a little bit of a bounce. It's been in a downward channel since. And right now, it looks like it might be in a little bit of a pennant formation. So we've got a squeezing down of price action, a respected level of resistance that is channeling down right here. And then on the flip side, we have a respected upward channel right here. And we only have a couple touch points too. So this may end up panning out a little bit different. But if you see a break here and shorts cover, that could be a pretty hard squeeze. I think there's a lot of opportunity there. Slobber Slaw, thank you for the donation, my friend. Is Cash App safe to use since Robinhood is capped at 1 share? Personally, my friend, I have never used Cash App. I have Venmo, but I don't think you can buy shares on Venmo. But from what I've read online, Cash App does seem to be a pretty safe app to use. I would see no issues, especially compared to a site like Robinhood. We know what Robinhood is. I've seen it called Robbing Hood by quite a few people. So I would say yes. I would say go for it. I don't see a problem. I am a bot. Thank you again, my friend. Gosh, you really rock. I appreciate it so much. Listen to it, my boy, giving out knowledge. These are like my daily stock classes. I'm telling you, man, this is a lot easier than you think it is. It's reading charts is not hard. I promise you. I learned this pretty fast. I got my degree in nutrition. I feel like there's a lot of opportunity here to pick some stuff up. Thank you, my friend. All right. So I am going to come over to some Reddit threads and read you guys some stuff that I am seeing here. There's a couple of things that I find very interesting, and this is one that I wanted to point out. So this was posted 5 hours ago by Wall Street Bets themselves. This is what covering their butts looks like. Closing long positions to cover GME loss. The effects of 140% naked shorting, not WSB. And let's just click on this picture quick. You can see Microsoft, Apple, Google, Facebook, Amazon, whole bunch of different industries and sectors that are getting closed out on right now. And let's just read some of these comments. Can't wait until Monday 4 a.m. What happens on Monday at 4 a.m.? Pre-market opens. Oh, funny stuff. But anyways, they're freaking out right now. This is what covering their butts looks like. Closing long positions to cover GME loss. That's a big deal. I feel like there's a lot of opportunity here, guys. I'm very excited to see what happens. And this, to me, just proves the fact that there's more there's more room to run here. I 100% believe it. Tyler Snook. I went to Fort Knox with him. That's cool. I went out to Fort Knox in process for Gold Bar recruiting for a military job that I was doing, and he was a cool dude. He was telling me a story about how he paid for his wedding with a position that he went long in. So that's cool. Welcome. Good to have you here, my friend. What is my number one biotech stock pick for 2021? Good question. So let's just pull up my charting again, and there's so many. January was the month for biotech stocks, guys. It was insane. There was so many crazy companies out there, but the one that obviously comes to mind for everybody is BNGO. They've got their Sapphire system that they're currently working on, which is absolutely crazy. They're working on genome sequencing, which is very niche. Not a lot of companies working on this, but so that I'm not just going with what everybody else would say, I think that there are some other opportunities that do have some high chances of doing good things. Jaguar Health, I pretty thoroughly enjoy, even though they're getting schwacked right now. Every good stock out there that we have, expectations for, that no news catalyst, good chart setups, they're getting schwacked because everybody's taking profits to get into the AMC, the GME, all that different stuff. So I like JagX quite a bit. I like BNGO. I think TNXP is flying really under the radar as well. I think TNXP could be a very good stock. As far as chart setups go, if we look at them on a 1 month chart, they're in an upward moving channel. Pretty well respected upward moving channel, right? We've got 1, 2, 3 different touch points here. And if this continues, you're going to see some pretty nice movement. You just are. I would continue to see TNXP continue to grow. And I also like TTOO, T2 Biosystems. They had a pretty nice push right here, an increase in volume, followed by a new higher low. I would have liked to see this be a little bit higher, but not bad overall. I don't mind that at all. Trick Zone, thank you so much for the $5. Heard forming an LLC can help with the capital gains tax. Thoughts? That is a good question. I've actually looked into forming an LLC for my personal YouTube channel just to help with my capital gains, and it is a resource. So if you are interested in doing that, I know that there is a whole bunch of different guidelines and things that you need to pay attention to with an LLC compared to filing your taxes independently. But it's a fact. Yeah, you can definitely help out your capital gains tax by forming an LLC. In fact, I've thought about doing that myself with not just my portfolio but my YouTube channel. All right. What about Editis? I hear it's about to blow out because of their products. I don't know what that company is. I'm going to be completely honest and transparent, but I will Google it quick. So if we pull up Editis, EDIT. All right, now we know. EDIT, we'll just look at the charts quick. Right now, they look a little bit rough. They have a high of $100 though, and they're in a pretty bad downward moving channel. So in order for me to see us breaking this downward moving channel, this pretty extreme, we may have actually broken it. We've got 1, if we lower this a little bit, 2, 3 different touch points. So we may have finally found a bottom here, which is pretty reassuring. Horizontal line, we've got a nice solid level of support here. And for us to continue in an upward moving channel, which it looks like we may just now be beginning, we're going to drop a trend line, zoom in quick, and we can see that we've got 1, 2, 3 different touch points here. So if it continues on this upward trend line, I'd be pretty happy to see that. Bro, can I please be a mod so I can time out spammers? Oh, yes, man. I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner. Add moderator. All you, my friend, thank you so much for the $5. Yeah, but this looks, it's a good buying opportunity. I mean, as far as the RSI goes, trading kind of neutral right now, but it has been bleeding for quite some time. So if you believe in the news catalyst, I think you can do pretty well. Patrick Sullivan. Hey, Trey, was just wondering what price do you think is good to get into IDEX and what price you see it going to short term? Thanks for the help. I actually really like IDEX. I've been talking about IDEX for a long time, and most people are like, why are you talking about this stock? It's just a pump and dump. Do you think it's a pump and dump now? Probably not. It is I think they're a good company. If Mike was watching this from the Discord, he would have all sorts of good stuff to tell you about. But we are in a clean upward moving channel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 touch points. That is an extremely respected level of resistance. And I expect that we're going to continue to follow that trend. And we can actually draw up an upward moving bottom trend line as well. We've got another, this is an exact, right? Technical analysis is an art, not an exact style. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different touch points here moving upwards. And if you look here, we are actually starting to slowly squeeze down. So if this does continue, I would expect to see a pretty harsh movement in the upward direction. This might take a couple of weeks to play out, but I can see in a week from now testing out that $5 range for sure. I would not be surprised in the least bit. All right. Trey, did you lose any money on MVIS in the Fidelity debacle? Alex, I made a small profit. They sold out my green positions as well as my AMC, BB, and Nokia. But I will be reestablishing an MVIS. Don't you worry. And actually, fun fact, this gets me really excited. This was brought to my attention by a friend of mine over from the Discord. Dead Inside actually just posted a video, and I was watching this right before the stream. And in this video, he talks about MVIS, which makes me so excited. That makes me pumped. MVIS is my baby. I love my girlfriend to death. If any of you are wondering what she looks like, this is her. Her name's Sarah. Great, great lady. This is us at the bowling alley out at Fort Sam Houston in Texas. That's where she went to Bullock. But I love her to death. If I had to have a second girl, it would be MVIS. I love that. I love it a lot. AMC price prediction and GME price prediction. AMC, it is so hard. I mean, honestly, guys, I wish that I could give you a fair answer and say I know exactly what this is going to hit. But it's impossible. Anybody out there, any YouTuber out there saying they can give you an exact price target on this stock, they're lying to you. It's just not possible. This is so volatile and so unpredictable, and it really is highly changing every single day. So what I can do is tell you this. I can tell you the overall short interest, right? The overall short interest right now on AMC, if we pull this up really quick, as of January 29th, is pretty high. I think it's 60 million and some change. So based on that, we know we've got, it's actually higher, 147 million shares compared to 600 million total market cap, 24% short volume ratio. And this is higher than we've seen in the past. Currently at 147 million, previously in the 60 million range. So we know the shorts have purchased more shares, trying to double down on their convictions, and the short volume ratio is going up. So what does this mean? Well, when they have to cover, if we see some heavy buying pressure, volume as high as we've seen here, it has been pretty predictable volume. I expect that we are going to squeeze and retest this 25.80 at least in the next day or two. I would not be surprised in the least bit to see this touch 40, 50, 60 bucks by the end of the week. In the least bit. That's my guess. GME, this is an even different situation than AMC, because we've already seen what this is doing. We've had a gamma squeeze already on this. It's already been squeezing, and people are still doubling down on GME. So if we come over here and check out the open GME short interest at this given moment, we will do that right now. At one point, it was as high as 250%, which is very, very high. Currently sitting at short volume of 8.8 million compared to a 50 million market cap, 17%. Now you might be thinking, well, that's not really a big deal. It's a lot less. 17% is actually lower than AMC. Well, also keep in mind though, GME trades at $312. So to have 8 million shares at whatever strike price they got that at, that's a big deal. That could be a huge, huge game changer. So I feel very good. I think at the very least you're going to see GME hit 550, 600, 650. It's very likely. I mean, we saw a jump from 93 bucks all the way up to 390 in the span of basically a day. So I 100% think we're going to see some more movement. I would not be surprised to see GME move up a couple more $100. AMC move up to that 50-60 range. That's my guess. All right. Technical analysis on CRSP. We'll pull that up for you, my friend. CRISPR. All right. Take a quick peek here. Currently in a downward channel, but it looks like they might have finally broken it. So we've got 1, 2, 3 different touch points here in this downward channel, and it does look like that has come to fruition where they did break that. So that's good to see. And it does look like we've begun another upward moving channel. So what's gonna be significant, right? Well, we're looking at one of two things. They're either gonna follow this downward trend line and continue downwards, or B, they're gonna continue on this upward trend line. And then as this continues, you're looking at a horizontal line or a level of resistance sitting right about here. I feel pretty good. We'll actually move this down just a little bit so we can get that extra touch point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different touch points here at $171.35. We've got a high in the last month of $221. So this could be a pretty good swing trade. I don't know a lot about this company as a whole, but if it continues on this upward trend line, you're going to see a compressing and squeezing of price action until we either break through this level of resistance or we push underneath this ascending trend line of support. So if we push through that level of resistance on the top, it could be pretty violent. I feel pretty good about it. It doesn't look bad. It looks like a good trend reversal. Good entry point. If you can buy this at $164 or below, I feel pretty good about that. Hello, fam. BNGO. Anything for my friend Larry. BNGO is a great company. I could very easily see them testing out $20 in the next month or so. And currently, it's in a pretty good buying opportunity. So we've seen it touch down to 38 on the RSI, which is pretty decently low. Fibonacci retracement, it held up. It kind of got beat down. I mean, people are taking profits right now from the good plays, the BNGOs, the JAGXs, the Zomes, Anuv, MVIS, all the plays that we love, right? They're getting crashed. They're getting schwacked hard. So every retracement I take with an asterisk. It's not as significant as we've seen in the past, just because we know that people are doing that. But this is a good buying opportunity, and we did see a bounce, right? So we saw a nice bounce. We see a nice level of support here, sitting right around $10.19. So if you see it touch anywhere between $10.19 and I would say $10.50, anywhere between that price zone is a pretty safe entry point to either enter the position or to dollar cost average up or down, depending on when you bought in. I love BNGO. I think it's a great company. Do Noke. I'll cover Noke quick. I do have a position in Noke. It's not currently in my portfolio on Webull, as I am currently in the process of transferring over from Fidelity. If all of you guys have been able to keep up with that, I did have my Fidelity account positions closed in AMC, BB, and Nokia at about 11:30. I saw and read some articles saying this happened to multiple other people, thousands of people across the country in both Fidelity and Robinhood. So I am in the process of getting out of that. But Noke, head and shoulders pattern, pretty bad. Shoulder, head, neckline. I do have a position in Noke sitting at not a good dollar cost average. I think it's like 520 or something. So I'm getting schwacked on it pretty hard. But I do think it's a good company. If you just read the quick description here, they're a Finland-based company engaging in the network and internet protocol infrastructure, software, and related services market. I do believe they're in the process of doing 5G satellites, which is absolutely insane. If they can make that happen, there's a lot. That'd be a lot of money. It could be pretty filthy. I like Noke. I think it's a good company. Has some solid potential. We ride together. We die together. AMC for life. Amen, my friend. Are you gonna buy? Oh, Ryan. What's up, Ryan? Are you gonna buy back into Fuel Cell or Plug? I actually never had a position in Plug, but I will be buying back into Fuel Cell. So Fuel Cell, great company. Currently in a pretty solid buy zone. They touched a high of $25, which I told everybody this would happen. I told everybody. This hit piece came out. They touched $20. They had that hit piece, came back down to 15, and everyone was freaking out. They're like, man, Fuel Cell's done. I should have sold this back when it was $20, and now it hit 25. This stock's going to keep growing, I'm telling you. Fuel Cell is going to be a mirror of Plug. It is going to continue to grow. I love Fuel Cell. And they are currently in an upward moving channel. We've got this trend line right here, signifying that they are moving upwards, and no signifying downward channel. Current level of resistance that we're going to be watching for with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different touch points is going to be $23.10. So once we meet here, what I anticipate is a slow and steady climb up to that level. So about a week from now, if this does come to fruition, I'm expecting a pretty tight squeeze, unless there's a news catalyst or something that comes out, in which case this will be trumped. But over the next week, I'd expect that we at least push over $23.10. It is a great stock. We like this stock. We like this stock, guys. It's a great company. So that's what I think. All right. What is the difference between short volume ratio percentage and short float percentage? That is a great question. I will pull that up for you right now. So short ratio, well, we'll pull up the short, the overall volume float, share float. All right, so share float, floating stock definition. Floating stock is the number of shares available for trading of a particular stock. Low float stocks are those with a low number of shares. Floating stock is calculated by subtracting closely held shares and restricted stock from a firm's total outstanding shares. So, for example, if we were to look at the total outstanding shares on AMC, the total outstanding shares is 52 million. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean that we have 52 million shares available to trade, right? So if the float is low, that means that currently, let's say 30 million shares are being held and there are 20 million shares currently available to trade. That is a pretty low float, right? So that's what that currently means. And then to answer your other question, the short volume ratio percentage. So if we look at GME short interest right here, the short volume ratio is taking the overall short volume and dividing it by the overall float on a stock. So not the market volume. That doesn't quite add up here. I mean, I'll do some quick math, but I don't think that's right. 50 divided by, or 8 divided by 50. I don't think that's typically how you calculate the short volume. Well, regardless, it's the short volume divided by either the market volume or the short or the float volume. I think it's the float volume, but according to this, it's 17%. So I'll err on the side of caution and say it's the market volume according to Fintel, but that is what it is. So the float of a stock is what is available for trading at this given moment. Can someone touch up on transferring brokers? So the process of transferring your brokerage account is actually very simple. So for me, what I did to transfer from Fidelity over to Webull is I went on to Webull and I went over to account. I did this on my phone, so I don't know how it quite lays out on the desktop platform. But if you go onto your app, right, and they have a button that says, "Hey, I want to transfer over." It might be actually down here. So it doesn't have the option for me since I've already began it, but there should be a tab if you have the app for Webull that says transfer positions, and you can transfer over your whole account over to Webull. All you need is your account number from whatever brokerage you're trying to transfer from. Rokora says, do you have any options on AMC? I do not currently have any options on AMC. Don't let that deter you from doing that. I do think it is a great tool to leverage your overall position in the company. Whatever, man. EXPR, bought at the top. Any help or my bag holding for life? So EXPR, I don't know a ton about the company. I know it's Express. Let's just read a quick profile. So it's a specialty apparel and accessories retailer. Oh, I do know what Express is. I bought clothes from them. Both women and men's merchandise. The company targets women and men between 20 and 30 years old. Financials, last annual. Man. It doesn't look great. I'm going to be honest with you, my friend. Unless this is pumped again, you're likely to see some price action pretty similar to this. I don't want to say that for sure. I don't know for sure. I'm not a financial advisor. But you're going to be depending on another squeeze of some sort. If we pull up EXPR on Fintel, just take a quick peek. EXPR short interest. 23%, 13 million shares, still fairly high. Actually, not that many people have covered yet. I mean, it was pretty high in the past, and we did see a nice push, which I'm assuming is why we saw that nice run-up right here. So there's potential, but there's still risk involved, so be very careful. I am in GME at 250. Looking at AMC, Naked, and CTRM. Talk to me, brother. All right. So CTRM to me is probably the safest of those plays because I genuinely enjoy what CTRM is as a company. They are in a very nicely moving upward channel right now. So before this was acting as a level of support, and now we're breaking below this as a level of resistance. Now, I'm not guaranteeing this happens, but we've got a level of support sitting right here at 54.9 cents, and you could either A, see a bounce off of that, followed by a bounce off of this level of resistance, or B, just a straight up push. But this is my guess, is you're going to see a bounce off of support here, followed by a push to this level of resistance, bounce off this channel, up, down, and then a breakthrough. Based on the overall short interest that we know exists right now in CTRM. Naked, I don't feel great about it. AMC, we know it is. We know what it is. So AMC, we do know that we've got shorts that are going to be covering over the next 2 weeks. We do expect a gamma squeeze to begin here on Monday. I expect some pretty violent price action. I feel pretty good about AMC. I'm still letting my positions ride here. I think you're going to do pretty well. Can you explain why CTRM and other pump stocks have been getting diluted? OG Bobby, I actually cannot. Diluted. I'm assuming you mean that there are being more shares added. And this is likely because they're trying to capitalize on the fact that there's a lot of money pumping into them. This is typically a good thing for a company as they're able to return some of the revenue from the increase in stock price. But that's about the most that I can say. I'd rather err on the side of caution and not give you a wrong answer, to be completely honest with you, my friend. I apologize. Do you think we should get out of Robinhood or stand by for a week or two? Great question, my friend. The reason that Robinhood is kind of a not great app is because they locked out trading and buying opportunities for certain stocks. So you guys are probably all aware, but they restricted trading on AMC, GME, CTRM, Naked, Nokia, a whole bunch of different stocks, and now they've lifted it so that you can only buy a limited amount of shares. So to me, that speaks a lot about the company, and I want to show you guys something. I showed this in my previous live streams, but I'm going to pull this up right now in case you didn't see it. This I do not like. Robinhood insider information. Founder Vladimir, which is the CEO of the company and the C-suite, received calls from Sequoia Capital and the White House that pressured into closing trading on GME, etc. I guarantee you the same took place at E-Trade and the others who closed trading. So we know, based on this Robinhood insider information, take it for what it is. This is a Reddit thread. We can't completely verify this, but I don't know why they would post it otherwise. So if this is true, that tells you a lot about the foundation of the company, man. And I don't feel good about that. I've never personally liked Robinhood's platform that much. It's good for the sake of being simple. But I think that there's better trading platforms out there. And I personally would take that as a reason to leave. That's why I got at Fidelity. That's why I'm transferring over to Webull, is because the SEC guidelines for them to close down positions with market manipulation or unusual trading activity, I just don't like that. I think that's a bad sign. A good entry level for GameStop. All right, so we are in an upward moving channel in terms of support and a downward moving channel in terms of resistance. So squeezing down on price action. In the pre-market, if you see this slip anywhere around 288, I think that's pretty safe. And if it breaks below that channel, we've got a nice level of support sitting right here at about 223 with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different touch points. I think it's not going to drop below that. So if we respect this upward ascending support line, 254, 266, somewhere between 250 and 270, I think is good. But if it breaks that and you see this touch 223 for even a second, that is going to give you some pretty nasty returns. I think that'd be solid. Sean, thank you for the donation, my friend. Is my money safe in Fidelity while holding AMC stocks? Oh, man. They closed my positions, man. I read online that at about 11:30 a.m., Fidelity, along with some other brokerage accounts, closed out of AMC, BB, Nokia, any of those WSB stocks, and I was definitely one of them. And I've talked to quite a few people that this happened to. There's a guy over my Discord that said that he had tens of thousands of dollars closed out, just like I did in all these stocks. So that's why I left. It's totally up to you, but I think it's risky. It's up to you though. All right, well, we'll go on for a couple more minutes, and we are going to call this overall stream. You can get on Brian's channel. I'll go spam him. Brian? Oh, are you talking about that guy that has the live stream? I don't remember his name. You'll have to drop his overall name, but if that happened, dude, I would 100% be down. If you can get me on his channel, I'm down to do it. I see no reason not to. I would 100% be down to do that. It might be a lot safer now that there are people watching. Yeah, you're right. You know, and I think the reason, take this for what it is. This is very speculative, but there's some really sketchy stuff happening right now on YouTube. All this stuff going down with the SEC, with these hedge funds. I genuinely think that there's some people right now that from big wigs watching YouTube channels. I mean, I know my channel's small. I have 18,000 subscribers. I don't claim to be the biggest YouTuber on the planet, but I know this has happened to multiple people. And it sketches me out, guys. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I take a very strong standpoint in my position on this situation. I agree with this movement. I think it is going to change the way of the market forever. I want to be on the right side of history. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't get financial advice. This is entertainment, as Stock Mo says, but I personally would just, it sketches me out. It sketches me out. I wouldn't be surprised. Trey, should we enter AMC pre-market or wait until opening session? I think that the squeeze is going to start happening in the regular market session because options can't be exercised in the extended hours. So I think the safest bet is to watch for an entry on AMC somewhere around, I would say, if we respect this upward moving support line, $13.85. If we don't, we know that we've got support right around here, sitting at about $12.07. So anywhere between 12 and 13 bucks, I think is going to treat you pretty well. And if you see it slip below that, even for a second, like you got a long candle wick like this that touches down for a minute, scoop those shares up at 872. You are not going to go wrong with that at all. All right. You are outgrowing people that I've been doing this longer than, so you be proud. You are a great person. Thank you, Larry. I appreciate that, my friend. Cody, I am not a financial advisor. I am not a financial advisor. I am not a financial advisor. I always got to say that for legal reasons. Oh, what do you do? Going to transfer from Fidelity to Webull. Yes, my friend. That's why I did it. I think it's a good call. That's my personal opinion, but you guys do what you got to do. I am a bot. Thank you so much, my friend. Trey, are you doing a live in the morning? I plan on it for sure. I'm still in quarantine for training at the moment, and I think as long as I've got time, I see no reason not to. The junkyard news. Can we talk? Yeah, I mean, that's definitely possible, my friend. Shoot me a message and we can definitely do that. I've got a Twitter and an Instagram linked in every single video. So shoot me a message on either of those platforms and I'll get back to you, my friend. All right. What's the chances of an AMC short squeeze to actually happen? If they release new stocks, we are screwed. I think it's very likely. I wouldn't be talking about this on the channel. I don't think other people would be talking about it if it wasn't likely at the very least. I see a lot of potential here. And oh man, that is such a filthy chart, guys. I really like this. We really like this stock. We really like this stock. God dang. That's so nice. Once we break through this top trend line, guys, that is going to be filthy. That's all I've got to say. That's all I've got to say. I feel good about it. Promise one thing. Never change the camera setup. Keep it humble and amazing. I'll keep doing what I'm doing, my friend. This is how it'll be. I like to keep it simple. I like to keep it relaxed for my friends out here on the channel. Can you transfer it with negative positions without delays or sell off? I think you can transfer with negative positions because as long as it's not margin, it's just your money. So if it's just your cash position, you should be totally fine. If it's margin or leverage, that'd be a different situation. I doubt it. But if it's your cash, you should. Over 318,000 call options expired in the money Friday for AMC. Can you touch on that? That's 31.8 million shares. Yeah, man, I definitely can touch on that. So 31.8 million shares expired on Friday. And this is a big, big deal. So if we just do some quick math and assume that most of those were filled, 31.8 million shares, if they get executed at, let's say we open at $13, right? That is going to be exponential. So basically, on a daily basis, we have anywhere between 600 million and 1 billion shares that are traded, right? So 31 million being absolute buys, that's going to squeeze the price at a pretty insane amount. That's about 10%, a little less than 10% if we see 600 million in total volume. That's going to be nasty. The squeeze is going to be crazy. Hold on, if the price continues to increase past the call that you made, do you continue to get more money as it rises? Please answer, need to know. Hold on, if the price continues to increase past the call that you've made, do you continue to get more money as it rises? So, I think that AMC and GME are going to be multiple day runners. I don't think this is a similar situation to Volkswagen. Volkswagen was a one-day pump, squeeze, dump. It was in and out. And that is significantly different than what we've seen with AMC and GME. I think the likelihood of this continuing a run-up is extremely, extremely high. I personally, I had more money riding on this. I had $20,000 in AMC. But now I've got about $4,500, and I feel very comfortable riding this out. I feel good. I think it's going to continue to run. We've got a lot of known data saying that this still has short interest, right? So if we come over, as was mentioned previously by somebody watching here in the comments, we had 31.8 million shares that are going to have to be covered that were in the money from options, right? And we know the short interest right now of AMC is still high. So even though those expired, right, they're going to have to cover. They expired last Friday. There's still more that have to cover in the future. There's still more that have to cover in the future. We've got 147 million in short volume still as of January 29th. We come over here to market beat. We see the days to cover. Multiple days. 8.4, 2, 5, 6, 7. There's a lot of data here still, guys. I feel very, very comfortable about where we're at. All right. I have a model on how to predict the fate of AMC. Please respond. I don't know what that model is, my friend. You're going to have to share some more, but can you explain why Nokia even got added to this list? It's a good company. Yeah, it's a little confusing, but the only speculation that I can make is that the Nokia short interest was at one point high. They were targeting companies with high short interest. So that is my prediction, but we'll check out what the numbers looked like here in the past. So if we pull up Nokia short interest, we can see that in the past they had 144 million shares of short volume as of January 27th. And I'm assuming that there was somebody over on Reddit threads that saw this number and said, all right, let's squeeze the crap out of you guys. That was on January 27th. So if we pull up Nokia really quick on the charts, just take a quick peek. January 27th was here. That is a lot of volume, and that would explain this disgusting squeeze. And we can validate that the squeeze happened because if we look here, the overall short volume went down. Now, that does not mean that it's over. There's still 53 million shares of short volume, still a short volume ratio of 14.84. So that does not mean it's over. It just means that a lot of them covered. So I believe that's why we saw that happen. It's still exponentially higher than we've seen in the past, right? I don't even know why there's such an increase. 6 million all the way up to 144. Insane. It's absolutely insane. It doesn't make sense. Pretty filthy. I think there's still some squeeze potential left here. It just depends on what price they're holding at. So that's my thoughts. Thank you, I am a bot, for the donation, my friend. Let's get it. I'm so excited for this week. Me too, my friend. It's gonna be sick. Oh, it's gonna be so dirty. I can't even explain to you how excited I am. Not even about the money, right? The money's gonna be fun, but this is history in the making, guys. This is insane stuff. This Reddit thread happening right now. It's bouncing around with Wall Street bets. There's a lot of crazy stuff in here. Paying for a well with GME gains. Like, look at this. Let's just read this. Think about how cool this is. Think about how cool this movement is, that it's actually helping real people. Thank you for helping us turn the challenges and hardships of 2020 into opportunities to serve through the mission of water forward. From our quick response to COVID-19 throughout Africa in the spring to completing our first ever district-wide coverage for 100,000 people in Wassa, East Ghana, God continued clearing the way, and you faithfully stepped forward with us. In 2020, your total giving of $2,700 helped to make it possible for our enterprises in 15 countries to complete 943 new water projects. Man, this is so cool. That's the coolest thing ever, man. I can't even explain to you how cool this is, that people are actually taking the money from this. 238,900 miles. Looks like we're gonna hit $238,000, guys. But anyways, you get the point. It's bigger than what we've seen. There's an actual good cause behind this, and I just feel good about it. It's exciting. It's exciting times. Thank you again, $10 for the donation. I do appreciate it so much. It means a lot to me, my friend. Appreciate all that you do. Thoughts on potential squeezes on Silver, Sundial, and Zohm when you get a chance? Thank you. I don't know how heavily shorted Zohm is. Let me pull that up really quick, and we'll give you an idea. I don't remember there being a huge amount of short interest, but it's definitely something that we can very easily find. So let's pull this up. Woo! That's disgusting. Why are there so many stocks with such crazy short volume right now? Ooh, that's nasty. That's a pretty high amount of short volume. I mean, it's down from what we've seen in the past, but 24 million is still pretty high. Dang. So there's obviously some potential here with Zohm. 35% short volume ratio percentage, but the volume is down. So if the volume starts picking up again, that percentage will go down, the squeeze will go down, but there's still potential there. Silver, I've read about that. I did cover that briefly in the past. I think silver does also have a pretty decent amount of short interest. We'll pull it up just to take a peek. 12%, 13 million total in short volume. Market volume of 113 million as of January 29th. How does this compare? Still higher than usual. As of January 28th, this was pretty heavily shorted. I think this is, this is speculation. This is what I think. I think these companies that are out real bad on some of their other positions are trying to very sneakily short in other stocks to make back their losses. Because what is up with this crazy short interest that we're seeing all of a sudden on different stocks? It's insane. This doesn't make any sense at all. Because look at this. This is happening with so many stocks like Silver, Zohm, CTRM, Naked. I honestly think these hedge funds are trying to find stocks that nobody talks about to literally just like make back their losses or something. It's insane. Now, I don't recommend getting into this, right? I would personally say the more that we spread out how much we're focusing on, like I'm not going to tell you to buy into any of these stocks, AMC, GME, etc. Make your own decisions. But the more that we all focus on these same stocks, the more we're going to see this pinpoint and this spike in price. I'm telling you, all of this is possible if we work together on it. I'm not telling you what to do. This is just what I'm doing, and I'm sharing my information as I see it. But the more we dilute, the less of a bang you're going to see. So that's my opinion. But silver does have a high amount of short volume, for sure. JT, thank you for the $5, my friend. Trey, you need a shotgun of beer when AMC hits $50 a share. Oh, yeah, definitely. You can 100% guarantee I'll do that. I'm a Bud Light guy. That's my go-to light beer. And if I'm going to be sipping, I like Surly Furious. It's a hoppy IPA out from Minnesota from Surly Brewing Company. And Guinness. I'm Irish. I'm Irish in nature, so I've got to sip on my Guinness. Nothing like a good nitro, my guys. All right. They're trying to take our attention away from GME and AMC. Watch out. I agree, Alan. 100%. So it's funny. Ever since this happened, I've been seeing ads on Twitter and Reddit. And it says, like, GME has been shorted this much. Here are 10 stocks that have high short interest. They're trying to get people out of the game to focus on other stocks. I completely agree with you. It's insane. Ricora, thank you so much for the $2, my friend. So if AMC goes to 50 on my $25 call, I still profit? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You'd profit. You'd make good money, my friend. You'd be making a lot of profit. Can I chart ride and give us your thoughts? No problem. Oh, Lordstown Motors. Here we go. So let's pull up. I think this is mentioned by a couple people here in the chat. I do try my best to get to everybody. I apologize that I can't. I am only one guy, unfortunately. But I do try my best. I promise everybody here. So total short volume, 13%, 832,000 total shares sold short. Charts look okay. It is trending downward right now, so just keep that in the back of your mind. Yeah, we got to break that downward channel. It looks a little rough. It's bleeding. And I don't see any sort of reversal or a reason for a reversal yet. Besides this spike, which is breaking out of that channel, it's pretty rough. Volume is consistent. RSI is trading a hair below neutral. If you're going to get into this, I think as a swing trade is probably your best opportunity. Watch for a bounce off of 24.41. Watch for a re-entry around 26 and some change. Because it is trending downward right now, so just be careful. Peter, my friend, thank you so much for the donation. Jeez, you really don't have to do that. Thanks. It means a lot to me, my friend. What are your thoughts on CTRM plus Foon? Do you think they will 2x next week? Willing to invest 5K to Swiner Insight? Thanks. I think CTRM is a great company. I do have a video out on them as of yesterday talking about why I think they have a lot of potential, but they've got a pretty high amount of short interest, and they're being talked about pretty heavily on Reddit threads. But keep in mind that we can't guarantee anything. The market's insanely crazy right now. As for Foon, I did cover this in the live stream earlier today because it was brought to my attention by somebody, and get this. This is actually kind of scary. So apparently YouTubers have been putting out videos on Foom, and YouTube has been taking them down. Not because of any community guidelines, but just because they don't want people to see the video, which is absolutely insane. That's scary. That scares me a lot. I think I'm actually going to test out that theory, and I'm going to make a video on Foon and cover my thoughts, but we've got an inverse head and shoulders here. So there's a head, shoulder, shoulder, typically a bullish indicator of a reversal coming, and we did see that come, and it was a lot of volume, huge pump, and apparently this has a lot of potential for the same thing to happen again. Now, if we look at the trend here, right, we look at the previous run-up, we can see the correction was pretty harsh, came down to 78.6% on the Fibonacci retracement. So are we going to see the same sort of correction? That's the question. And if we do, we're going to come down to $2.04. So I think in your best case entry point, it'll be right around here at 204, which does line up very well with some previous levels of resistance, which would then be acting as support. That's my opinion, my friend. Thank you. Hypothetical. If your job won't let you sell shares for more than 30 days, would you buy AMC Monday? 18K in fun money if it means hurting hedges. Hedge bros. So it's totally, I don't know if it's going to run for 30 days. I'll put it that way. There's risk involved in holding it for that long. I think it'll run for a couple weeks at the very least. But shoot, I think I would personally put that somewhere else. That's just my opinion. There's a lot of risk involved with these plays, and to hold it for 30 days is quite a while. That's just my opinion, but it's totally up to you. If your end goal here is to be a part of the movement, then I'm not going to tell you no. I'm just telling you that the risk is high, so just be careful. That's all I want from you, my friend. Brandon, thank you for the donations. I do appreciate it. Todd the Axeman. I don't know if I know what that is. I'm going to be honest. I might just be a boomer. Todd the Axeman. Oh, I got to try that out. Ooh, that looks filthy. Is this an IPA? Oh, yeah. Oh, Surly, too. I've never had that. I didn't even know that existed. My go-to has always been the Furious. Dang. Yeah, beautiful. I like that. Yeah, there's some good stuff from Surly. I really like hoppy stuff, so I'm going to try that out. Thanks for the recommendation. Damien, thank you for the donation, my friend. Please give your thoughts on SGBX. LAX COVID testing in partnership with Blink. No problem, my friend. I will do that right now for you. So SGBX. We'll pull that up right quick. Reading the charts. It is on a downward channel. So we've got a respected level of resistance right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 almost different touch points currently. And the next level of support that we're going to be watching for a bounce off of is likely going to be about here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different touch points. So I could see in the next couple of days, likely, we're going to continue on this downward channel. And if that is the case, you're likely going to see it touch around here. $6.43. If you see a bounce and a break above that channel, that's probably a pretty good sign. Now I'm going to come out here and look at the 3-month chart and look at the overall growth. And we are still in an upward channel overall. So we're going to be watching for an intersection of points between here. 1, 2, 3, 4 different touch points, 5. And you want to see us follow in this overall trend. So either we're going to A, we're going to follow on that downward channel, or B, we're going to continue on this upward channel. You're looking for a continuation. So you don't want to see a top of a candle touch down here below 667. You want to see the bottoms of the candles continue on this upward trend line. And if you see that, I would expect a continuation. Pay for Discord, paid to answer question. Money seemed to change, folks. Love your channel, but focus on all. You will always get my like, and I do subscribe. I apologize, my friend. It's not that I'm not paying attention to you guys. It's just when somebody pays me money to answer their question, I don't want to ignore what they're saying. I will do my best to answer all of your guys' questions. That's not my intention. I 100% promise you. When these aren't being in the comment section, I will always come back to you guys. I 100% mean that. And everybody over the Discord, I do give bi-weekly Twitch streams, so I do stream at least twice a week to answer all of you guys' questions as much as I possibly can. So I do apologize, Gary. It's not my intention to leave you hanging. Sean, how likely is the CCIV merger rumors? And if the merger, what's your price target? Lucid is insane. They look like real fancy Teslas, man. If this does come to fruition, you know, I'm personally not riding the hype on this, but if it does come to fruition, I wouldn't be surprised to see triple digits whatsoever. I just keep an eye on it day by day, because if this doesn't come to fruition, you're going to see this come all the way back down to $10. Sergio, if AMC does become a multi-day runner, what would be a prudent percentage to set a trailing stop loss? It's a very, very volatile stock. I'm glad you asked that. Trailing stop loss for AMC is a very volatile stock. We've seen it come all the way from $25 down, you know, an hour later to $12. So it's completely dependent on how much profit you want to lock. If you set it at 10%, you totally could get kicked out of your position, you know, in within minutes. So it's very tough to say. I would personally set it to maybe 15 to 20% just based on how volatile it is. But it's totally up to where you want to lock in profits. If you're happy right now walking away with 100% profits, then feel free to do that. That's my personal opinion. If we hit 1K in AMC, sell to only get the money you put in. Leave the rest in there. I'm with you. I'm letting it ride. I'm letting it ride, my friend. Larry, join Trey's Discord. You won't regret it. Thank you, my friend. I do have a Discord, rich boy. The link to the Patreon is in the description box of every single video. It should be here for you if you are interested in doing so. Also, if you would not mind, please drop it a like. I will take a quick swig of some Woodford Reserve. And just do it because we like the stock. We like this stock. Do it because we like the stock. That's all I ask. All right. Free my grandma. I hope everyone is having fun. I like that pun, my friend. Everyone is having much fun because we like this stock. We like this stock. That's all I have to say. Gerard Swar. To be honest, I don't even recommend a trailing stop loss. RMB was it Thursday. It was a short ladder attack to trigger stop losses for AMC. I don't have a trailing stop loss set. That's my personal opinion, just because of how volatile the stock is, right? So look at this. 25.80 down to $12. That retracement is disgusting. That is so crazy. And this, you're exactly right. It was a trailing stop loss, right? They were trying to kick people out of their positions. That is a retracement of almost 78.6% in a matter of an hour. I will not set a trailing stop loss on this personally. But if you want to lock profits, it's totally up to you. Everybody's investing in this for different reasons. I'm not going to tell people what to do. I'm not a financial advisor, but that's my personal take. 100%. All right. What about Atos? Any views on the new COVID products? I don't know a whole lot about the new Atos COVID products. Let me take a quick look at the news release. I don't see anything that's standing out to me. Maybe this. I saw something about COVID. My eyes don't work too good. One of my eyes, I can't see at very well. I don't know if Patrick is watching this, but Patrick is my brother-in-law, also my optometrist. He knows my vision's not that great. But anyways, we'll check out the Atos COVID news real quick. Atos stock. I'm not seeing anything pop up, my friend. I'm just gonna err on the side of caution and say I don't want to give out false information on this. So I'm gonna leave it as it is. But I do like Atos. The charts are healthy. They're very good. We've got consistent volume. The RSI doesn't correct very harshly typically. We see one pull back down to about 40, but that's really not that bad. So I like Atos. I think it's got some really solid potential for growth. I can see this graduating out of penny stock realm for sure. Last question. How many weeks will AMC surge? Thank you, Sean, for the donation. I appreciate it, my friend. I think that AMC is very likely to surge for at least 2 weeks. And it's gonna be a bumpy ride. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. That's just the truth. We're likely to see this go up and down multiple dollars over the next 2 weeks. So if you want to take profits, there's no shame in that. I'm not going to tell anybody not to take profits. We are investors and traders first and foremost. So do what needs to be done. 100%. But I think it's going to run until next Friday. All about the juice. All about the juice. I like that name. Just join the chat. Not sure if you covered Naked. Do you see it making a run this week? Naked did have a run because it is a pretty heavily shorted stock. The overall financial situation of the company, if we look at their annuals, has not been great, right? They're down pretty bad the last 2 years. Had a pretty good 2018. Filthy 2018. But as of late, they haven't been doing great. Now, if we look at the Naked short interest remaining, I'd be willing to bet that a decent amount of covered, but we will find out. We'll get back to that right now. So, 130 million total short volume. A lot of it has been covered, but there is still some remaining short volume. Overall, percentage-wise, 28%. Man, that's a disgusting amount of short volume right there. 580 million shares. So, there's potential. There's potential for sure. There's still quite a few short shares being held right now. If we look at the chart, it is currently tightening down on price action. A break above or below that trend line is going to be violent. Corrected very nicely. Didn't correct that harsh. If you drop a Fibonacci, if this is anywhere near 50%, that is a very nice retracement. 61.8. I mean, it was at 93 on the RSI, so I guess points-wise, we gave back quite a bit, but that's not too bad. It doesn't look bad. AMC to 200 in 2 weeks. Ooh! That'd be sick. That'd be pretty crazy. Sens hold. I love Sens. I actually think it's a pretty solid company. Not this one. That's not Sens. Sens. Sens is coiling right now. That is almost a picture-perfect coil. That is so nice looking. Look at this. That is the definition of a bullish flag. We've got the flag right here, followed by a bounce up and down between a tightening price zone. That's a bullish flag formation. That is nice. I expect a pretty harsh move in the next couple days. Should be good. As long as this isn't trumped by all the WSB stuff. Of course, that does take precedence. News catalysts and media coverage completely trumps charts. But what the charts say right now is what they say. It looks pretty solid. 1,000 shares of AMC. That's good stuff, Dylan. Right on, right on. I like to see that. bulletproof. Light up a cig, bro. I love to see that. You know, I don't smoke. I do chew though. I'm not gonna lie. I hope I didn't lose a bunch of people because of that. But maybe someday. Maybe someday. Milo, thank you for the $5, my friend. Look into ADX a little deeper. Currently pending FDA approval for cancer treatment and other things in the pipeline. Currently at 77 cents. I have actually done a little bit of reading on ADXS, and first off, the chart setup is not bad at all. If we look at the last 3 months, they are growing very nicely, and we have an upward moving channel. We've got right here. Actually, we're going to use the most recent price action and adjust it. Gosh dang. I got to get used to Webull. I'm not used to this yet. You guys have to excuse the choppiness, but it is an upward moving channel, and I expect it to continue. And then we do also have this descending wedge, so it's tightening on price action, and it should be a pretty violent move. Based on the overall macroscopic trend, it is looking pretty good. I anticipate that it's going to continue this run. But what you're saying about the FDA approval for cancer treatment, we know right now, guys, that anything that is FDA approved has a huge impact on stock price. So what's a good example? OCGN is kind of an example. They got approved for drug release in India, the second most populous country in the world. Saw a huge pump from 29 cents all the way up to $3. So that's very possible we see the same thing with ADXS. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Put that on your radar, guys. I like that play. The Junkyard News, thank you for the donation, my friend. Silver Lake sold their AMC stocks in blocks as price went down Thursday and people were limited. Market and price manipulation, 100%. I'm with you, my friend. Big time. So I know that people were freaking out about the Silver Lake stock in blocks, but I honestly think that the price held up pretty well regardless. So if we look at the last 5 days, Friday, Thursday, we did see the sell-off, right? But it did come back. And I think that this huge sell-off right here is more likely to be possible market manipulation, because look at the volume, guys. That is not a lot of volume. See this huge pump in green closing volume? How many shares is that? 106 million. 106 million shares in a 5-minute window. And then how much red volume do we have? Right? 13 million? 7 million? 10 million? 9 million? That does not make sense. That's market manipulation to a T. I would not be stressed whatsoever with the Silver Lake shares at all. That's my opinion. All right, Matty Fox, thank you for the donation, my friend. I don't know what 2 pounds is in American dollars, but it is so appreciated. I need a little lesson. Greetings from Germany. I'm a bag holder of AYTU. I don't think I've ever heard of that ticker. Man. I don't know. That's a pretty filthy, disgusting gap up, man. That's crazy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't particularly like this chart setup. I can't really tell you a whole lot about the price action here. It is. Alright, I'll do my best. Let's see what I can figure out. But this price action is kind of choppy. There's not a lot that I can tell you. We kind of have a level of support here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different touch points. So if you see a bounce off of 687, that's probably your best case scenario for an average down. But it's trending downward right now. The best case scenario is if we see an upward continuation of buying pressure. So you're looking for something like this. A bounce off of here. Or a bounce off of... Come on. Or a bounce off of here. So I think that's the best case scenario for you. Castor Maritime just bought 2 more boats on top of the one they bought this morning. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Beautiful. I'm telling you, CTRM is going to cook with Crisco. I love CTRM. That's good stuff. Hey, no problem, Milo. I'm glad I could help, my friend. What platform is that you're using? This is Webull Desktop version 4. I transferred over to this from Fidelity. I do enjoy this this platform quite a bit. They've got a lot of great stuff in here. Watch lists, stocks, markets. You can do a bunch of different scanning. They've got a screener. Very nice tool. Customizable charts setups that you can use. Multi-charts, normal. You can open a new tab and set it however you'd like. account, and then paper trading as well. Very nice platform. I like it a lot. Can I go over CLSK? No problem. So we're going to look at this on a 1 month chart quick. How about a 3 month? That's a pretty gnarly head and shoulders. Head, shoulder, shoulder. But we do have a very well-respected level of support right here. That stands out to me right off the bat. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different touch points at 24.38. And it does look like we might see a little bit of selling pressure here. So we're looking for a bounce off of 24.38 for a continuation of trend. But this is pretty bearish territory currently. Macroscopically, like super macroscopically speaking, this is still bullish. But I see no reason for a trend reversal yet. I'm going to come over here to the 1 month chart, see what we're seeing. And I'm going to add in the 200 EMA real quick. EMA. Where are you at? Where are you at? There we go. And then edit indicators, EMA. All right. So yeah, we're still pretty bearish. The 15, I suppose that's not the 15. We'll come to the MA, change this to 15. The 15 MA is currently trading underneath the 200 EMA, so that's pretty bearish territory. And we've got a double bottom, so that's good. But you're looking for a continuation of this trend. If you see a triple bottom, that'd be a pretty good entry point, but it's still pretty bearish. All right. Can I talk about Inuv? I will touch on this, and then we're going to wrap up pretty quick here. We have been going for about 2 hours, which is a pretty long stream. If you would not mind just dropping one quick like on the video, just because we like this stock. We really do like this stock. It does mean a lot to me. I really appreciate your guys' time. Inuv is a good play. So Inuv has the intent key feature. They've got internet advertising technology and digital publishing company. They operate through 2 segments, the partner networks and the owned and operated network. And what I really like about Inuv is they've got advertisements that they're trying to really focus on through AI or artificial intelligence. And if they really lock in on that, there's a lot of money involved in ads. I can see them really locking that down and doing some good things. So now's a good buying opportunity. We're seeing a triple bounce, triple bottom right here off of this level of support at about $1.24. You did pretty well getting in at this point. I think so. Check out Sing. Just bought 50,000 shares. I sure can. We're going to get off here in 2 minutes. Oh, that is a micro cap stock to a T. A lot of volume too. Dang. I don't know what you bought in at, man, but if you bought in down here for less than a penny, you're sitting pretty freaking nice right now. Fibonacci retracement. Draw this up. Yeah. Nice level of support so far, right around here at 2 cents. But I think a safer entry is going to be 0.018 if you can get in at that point. I don't mind it. Yeah, it's a pretty clean setup. Big gap between the 15 MA and the 200 EMA, which is typically pretty solid. Was pretty overbought. Correction, a little bit harsh, but I think there's opportunity here if the volume continues. I don't mind that. Can I go over FRSX? Sure can. FRSX is a great company. I like these guys almost as much as I love my girl, MVIS. Ooh, man. So they do a lot of the same stuff. They're called Foresight Autonomous, and I've talked about this on the channel before. And what I like about these guys is they're basically the company that sells the pickaxes to the miners. So they create products that allow autonomous driving to happen in harsh weather conditions. And I think they're going to be a huge company. I can see them 5 to 10xing. It could be absolutely huge. I could honestly see this company at the end of the year being a $30 or $40 company at the very least. These guys are lagging behind. I think Foresight, MVIS, VLDR, all these companies have potential to be just as big as the Neos, the Tesla, maybe not the Teslas, but the Neos, the XPEVs, the Lees, big time for sure. Hey Trey, where should I change my broker from Robinhood to? I personally like Webull a lot, and you can see the platform right here. This is what I typically use. I try to keep it pretty clean, but it's a nice platform. I enjoy it a lot. I transferred over here from Fidelity, and I actually enjoy Webull more than I enjoyed Fidelity, so that's my personal opinion. Last stock I'm going to cover on today is AQMS. This has been requested by quite a few people here in the comment section. We will touch on this really quick. Looking at AQMS, we do have a nice upward moving channel. We're going to use the most recent price action as that is the most relevant with 1, 2, 3, 4 different touch points here. Just adjust this a hair. Maybe. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different touch points. And then we do have a descending level of resistance. So a squeezing of price action. I would expect in the next day or two that you're going to see a pretty violent move either up or down. And just based on the macroscopic perspective here, I would expect it to move up. So that looks very, very nice. We've had a pretty decent pullback. Good opportunity to buy in. Our size at 44. Now looks like a good time to get into AQMS. If we look at the overall description, they engaged in the business of recycling lead through a process that the company developed and named aqua refining. The company's aqua refining process focuses on providing for the recycling of lead acid batteries and the production of lead. I've read some good things about this company and their financials. Even though they're not great over the last quarter, they're green for the past 2 years. They're growing. I don't mind it at all. All right, so that is what I'm going to do for the video today. I'm really glad that you guys took the time to log in and keep up with everybody. It does mean a lot to me. I do appreciate it. One last thing that I will answer, Sam, does Webull update your after hours balance real time? Fidelity does not. They do. And I actually really, really enjoyed that because I hated that Fidelity didn't do that. But Webull does update in real time. And I will show that to you right now with AMC. So AMC, you can see that the last price, it does have the updated profit loss for me up, 53% total. And the last price being $13.45. If we come over here to the charts, AMC, check this out. We have 13.53. So that's not right, but it does update in real time. I can guarantee you that. I've seen it. I don't know where it finds it on here, but I can tell you right now the net account value does take into consideration the after hours. So that is 100% true. So that is what I have for the video today. Daniel Perez, thank you for the nice words. I do appreciate it. You can get the desktop forward version if you download it on the Webull website. They have that available for you. All right, so I'm going to log out. That is what I have for the video today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I do appreciate the support so much, and I will see you all in the next one. I will plan on live streaming again tomorrow morning to cover AMC's live price action. So I'm pumped for the day. I'm glad you all took the time to watch my video. I do enjoy doing this, and I will see you all in the next one. So take it easy. Peace, my friends.